Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call Wise Man Lawyers. Don't face that court alone. Let the Wise Man team get you back on the road. Does your license need saving? Do the wise thing. Call the Wise Man team at Wise Man Lawyers.
Alright, today I'm at Ipswich Magistrates Court. Client was charged with drug driving. There's two types of drug driving. The more serious is drive under the influence of a drug. The less serious is what's called drive whilst relevant drug present. Under the influence obviously means you're high on drugs. Relevant drug simply means you've had it at some point, the effects have worn off, you're no longer high or under the influence, but traces of the drug were found in your system whilst you were operating a vehicle. Worst case scenario for a first time offender, which my client was, is a 9-month disqualification. Mandatory minimum is a 1-month disqualification. Had my client have been in paid employment, they would have been eligible to apply for a drug driving work licence, given they hadn't lost their licence for any reason in the last 5 years. But the bottom line is she'd lost her employment, not directly from this offence, but it seemed a bit of a coincidence that her employment was terminated as a result, or at the same time. So again, to get a drug driving, or to be able to apply for a drug driving work licence, can't have lost your licence the last 5 years, but you need to have an income that's at stake if you lose your licence. So if there's no income, you can't get a work licence, because there's no income that's going to be lost if you lose your licence, if that makes sense. In any event, so as opposed to applying for a drug driving work licence, my job was one of getting the disqualification down as low as possible, given she's unemployed and the nature of her work requires her to drive, not so much inherently in the role, but to get to and from job sites, to do her job once she's there. So given that she needed a licence to get employment, the longer she was off the road, the longer she's going to be unemployed, and therefore my job was one of getting it down as low as possible. But further to the fact that she's unemployed and seeking work, having a recorded drug driving conviction was a concern for her. Look, as a starting point, drug driving is not a criminal offence. Drug offences aren't criminal offences unless they become possession or dealing or trafficking or anything like that. Simply driving with drugs in your system, it's a traffic offence, to be said in the same sentence as drink driving or anything else. So I guess what I'm getting at is, because it's not a criminal offence, it's harder to get no conviction recorded. So as much as my client had concerns about the recording of the conviction, given she's trying to get back in the workforce, given it wasn't a criminal matter, it's hard to persuade a magistrate that a recorded traffic conviction, which is what it is, would impact upon her ability to get work. The key case on this is Grohl, as in Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. Basically, about 10 or 12 years ago, he was in Queensland for the big day out down at the Gold Coast. He was intercepted DUI, drink driving on a moped. It was low range, but in any event, a traffic conviction was recorded. He was upset about this, and they appealed the recording of the conviction, and the relevant court said, well, you haven't convinced us that a recorded traffic offence conviction is going to impact you at all. And, you know, the Foo Fighters have gone on to become the biggest band in the world, so obviously a recorded traffic conviction didn't impact Dave Grohl greatly. And as funny as it sounds, the matter of Grohl, the case of Grohl, is a key case that magistrates refer to when deciding whether or not to record a conviction. So you've got a lot of magistrates with musical tastes that perhaps aren't diverse enough to encapsulate the Foo Fighters, who have got no clue of who Dave Grohl is, but they refer to the matter of Grohl almost daily in deciding whether or not to record convictions for traffic matters. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, drug driving, even though it's a drug offence, it's not a criminal offence, it's a traffic offence, and therefore, unlike criminal offences, which ironically are easy to get no conviction for, given the very real impact of a recorded criminal conviction, they're harder to get when it's a drug traffic offence. Anyway, I'm sort of prattling on a bit now, but notwithstanding all that, notwithstanding the fact that it wasn't a criminal offence, given my client was seeking work, and given the field that she's in, she was notwithstanding very concerned about the recording of your conviction. So in addition to trying to get the disqualification down as low as possible, my job was one of trying to persuade the magistrate not to record a conviction. There's a number of points I covered in making submissions in that regard. I'm not going to go on about it any further now, but look, the short version is I was successful on all fronts. So I was successful in persuading the magistrate to give the man to a minimum 1 month. So she was given a 1 month disqualification starting today. I was also successful in persuading the magistrate not to record a conviction, so no conviction recorded. It's a traffic conviction, but it was important to my client, and there was no traffic conviction recorded. There was a modest fine. The client's obviously very relieved, very keen to get back into the workforce a month from now. I'm Andrew Wiseman. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Andrew Wiseman from Wiseman Lawyers, Queensland's only truly dedicated drug, alcohol and traffic offence law firm. If you face loss of licence, loss of vehicle imprisonment, or anything in between at any court in Queensland, we can and will help you today. This is our specialty. This is all we do. Give us a call, 1300 947 352. I look forward to helping you resolve your issue today.
Don't face that court alone. Let